Everybody, once again, it's me, Crazy Mike, and today I'm here with a review of UFC 71. This was a very good pay-per-view, and I have to keep this video less than 7 minutes because I am on a big time limit. So let's get started. Jeremy Stephens versus Dean Thomas. In this fight, Dean Thomas showed that he has improved a lot in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and his boxing. As a matter of fact, Dean Thomas got his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt not too long ago. And basically the first round starts off with them having some exchanges. Dean Thomas goes for a hook, ducks down, gets the double leg takedown, and controls Jeremy Stephens on the ground. Dean Thomas kept changing his leg position, and basically Jeremy Stephens was able to get away and got on top of him. Start of the second round, Jeremy Stephens looked a lot more confident, and he started winning most of the exchange with the punches and the leg kicks. But Dean Thomas showed awesome Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He was able to take Jeremy down. However, Jeremy got on top of him, no problem, because Dean Thomas was able to get an armbar from his back on the bottom, and that I thought was just so sexy. And yeah, Dean Thomas has improved, and he showed that in this fight and in the last one he had. And on a side note, it's weird because Jeremy Stephens, his last name is spelled Stepheas. Weird. Anyway, Sean Salmon versus Alan Belcher. Sean Salmon, I think he was thrown at the lines then way too quick. I don't think he has enough MMA training, and in the last fight he was in, he got his head kicked off and was knocked out unconscious. And this fight wasn't the same, but it wasn't that much difference. Basically, Alan Belcher was able to pull off the guillotine choke. And so, yeah, I feel Sean Salmon needs more training in MMA because basically he's nothing more than a wrestler for right now. Ivan Salaverry versus Terry Martin. Terry Martin looks a lot better physically, even though he still carries a little bit of body fat, but hey, a lot of guys do. Ivan Salaverry showed some excellent takedown defense. However, he tried to go for a standing Kimura, and basically because of that, it was easier for him to get taken down and to get his face punched in, and that's exactly what happened. Referee stopped the fight. Your winner, Terry Martin. Wilson Govea versus Camelo Morero. I'm sorry guys, I probably spelled it wrong. In any event, Wilson showed some great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in this fight and also threw some devastating leg kicks. He as well ended up winning with the guillotine choke in the first round. Houston Alexander versus Keith Jardine. First, I must say that Houston Alexander deserves to be fined, and I'll tell you why. Anyway, first round. Early in the first round, Houston gets in trouble. He gets caught right in the jaw, but he ends up rebounding, and Houston and Jardine get into the clinch. Houston gets real low to him and starts throwing these beautiful looking uppercuts and some knees. Jardine goes down and he gets dropped out. Fight is over. After the fight, Houston Alexander showed a lot of disrespect, and I feel that he should get fined for what he did. I don't care what anybody says. You shouldn't disrespect a fighter. Even though you're going to be punching his head off during the fight, you know, that kind of disrespect is really not necessary. Cairo versus Berkman. Cairo is one of my favorite fighters, and he showed why the 170-pound division is the best division in all of combat sports. Well, then again, in my opinion. First round, these guys were slugging. It wasn't a very technical boxing match, but hey, who gives a damn? These guys slugged, and that's what people want to see. By the second round, Berkman came very tired. And so that's another thing I would like to mention, that people say that Cairo is very lazy in his training. Well, preparing for Berkman, he was not, because his cardio was excellent. And in this round, well, actually in the first round, each man got a beautiful looking takedown, but Cairo's hip toss was just beautiful. They showed that at least 3-4 times. Now, in the third round, Berkman, it looked like he got his rest, and he came out a lot more aggressive, but he just didn't bring it enough to beat Cairo. The judges scored it like this: 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Now, in the main event, Rampage Jackson and Chuck Liddell. As you guys all may or may not know, Chuck Liddell got his lights taken out in this fight. And basically he was knocked out in the first round. Some people may say the fight was stopped prematurely. If you say that, you obviously didn't look closer into the fight. Chuck Liddell was tagged, and basically he was defending himself when Rampage was punching his face in. However, if you notice, his hands just fully dropped. and he just got flat and gave out. He was knocked out. And even when the fight was over, Chuck Liddell didn't even know what happened. He was asking the ref, hey, what's happened? What happened? And when they took him into his corner, he was still wobbly. Chuck Liddell was hurt. He was really hurt. So no one can say that the fight was stopped prematurely, because either you're ignorant or you just didn't see the fight correctly. Now, much congratulations to Rampage. Now, there was a video saying that he didn't deserve it. That guy is a complete moron. But in any event, one thing I would like to add is, if Chuck Liddell beat a lot of great fighters. However, how many of those fighters were good enough strikers? How many of those fighters were guys that can really strike with Liddell? Rampage was finally a guy that can strike with Liddell and wasn't intimidated of him. Let's be serious. Tito Ortiz was intimidated of him. He didn't really believe he could strike with Liddell. Are you crazy? But in any event, all in all, good pay-per-view, and see you later, guys.